I'll read you through the circular in full because we need to have little detailed understanding of the circular. So they issued a circular clarification. Let's go through the circular clarification. We'll then come back to the summary that I've given you. Clarification on various issues pertaining to GST treatment of vouchers. The vouchers may be in the nature of payment instrument which creates an obligation on the buyer to accept it as consideration or part of consideration for supply of goods or service. Okay. This is how the voucher has been defined as. The problem is that the issuance of part payment instrument including prepayment instruments, which is a very big understanding in RBI. So they generally call all of these vouchers as generally the vouchers which can be used as payment instrument. They have a separate regulation for it called as prepaid instrument regulations. So many conditions have to be satisfied if you are a prepaid instrument on the settlement, how you should treat it, how you should keep the money and all that. So they said issuance of payment instrument including prepaid instrument in India is regulated by whom? Not GST, by RBI. In terms of Payment and Settlement Act 2007. There is an RBI master direction and relevant notification, circulars and communications issued by RBI from time to time on this. Okay. I've gone through the entire prepayment instrument, for one of the clients. Okay, the master circular talks about so many methods in which you should do in terms of settlement. People who are issuing prepayment instrument, but there they generally include prepayment instrument would be considered to be like your wallets, Paytm wallet, Google Pay, Amazon Pay wallet. There's so many wallets that can be used. MobiKwik, okay, MobiKwik, right? Their wallet. So many companies are there in this particular segment wherein you can add money into the wallet and then make payments. Right? It's a very common mechanism. All of them have provision that will come under prepayment instrument. You have to pay this first and then use it for a payment. Right? You pay, transfer from your bank account to this wallet, and then you use this wallet for payment. That's the structure that you have. There are settlement, there are circulars which saying that you can only do 5,000. Beyond that, you will have to do KYC. There are so many things that is there. A lot of money laundering also happened through it. So then they said there is so much of disparity in understanding when it comes to GST and RBI. So we need to redefine the entire structure. They said prepayment instruments as defined by RBI. Those prepayment instruments that facilitate purchase of goods and or services against the value stored on such instrument would be called as prepayment instrument by RBI. Are all vouchers considered to be a prepayment instrument? No. That's another problem we have here. Your gift vouchers doesn't necessarily come as a prepayment instrument. Okay, say Bata issuing a Bata showroom gift voucher might not be a prepayment instrument, but Amazon Pay issuing a Amazon Pay wallet amount, will that be considered to be a prepayment instrument? Yes. Right. So they're trying to understand both of them. So they said payment instrument that facilitate purchase of goods and or services against value stored on the instrument would be considered to be what? Prepayment instrument. Now, what is this value? Value stored. They're saying you have a payment instrument which can be used against purchase of goods or service for the value stored on the instrument. If I have 5,000 rupees stored on this instrument, I can use it to purchase goods worth 5,000, which has a money kind of a transaction structure. That would be called as what? Prepayment, PPI under RBI. Value stored such instrument represent the value paid for by the holder. How will you pay for it? By cash or by debit to a bank account or by credit card. Okay, you have to pay for this. If you have paid some amount and then got a wallet, would be called as what? Prepayment instrument. Okay, all these wallets will be coming under the definition of prepayment instrument. Can I use this prepayment instrument to make payment across multiple channels? Yes. Prepayment instrument can be issued as cards. What do you mean by cards? Gift cards by banks. If you want to go, you can get a gift card by bank. The bank will give you a debit card kind of a document and proper card, okay, with an EMV chip. You can even go to an ATM and then withdraw money out of this. This would be called as what? Prepayment instrument. This is called gift card. You can gift it to someone. They might go do anything. Can they go across places and then use this? Yes. Like they use a debit card, they can use it. But can they recharge this? No. It is just having that gift card amount. Once it is fully utilized, done. It could be wallet or any form or instrument which can be used to access PPI and to use the amount therein. It can be your wallet, online mobile phone wallet, or anything it can be. As per section 275 of CGST Act, money includes an instrument recognized by RBI which is used as consideration to settle an obligation. On the combined reading of the definition of voucher along with the definition of money, we can understand that the description of prepaid instrument given by RBI, the following is observed. What is that they are observing? They said, case number A, where the voucher is covered under prepaid instrument recognized by RBI. What will be voucher considered in GST as? Money. In such cases, voucher will fall under the definition of money. Thus, money is excluded from the definition of goods and service. The transaction in voucher would be considered neither as supply of goods nor as supply of service. This is your first understanding. So all your Amazon Pay vouchers, Paytm vouchers, all that money that you add as wallet or your gift card as a prepaid card. Okay, we call this in banking as prepaid cards only. Okay, prepaid cards, none of them would be treated as a supply. It would be treated as what? Money, and will be neither supply of goods nor supply of service. So when bank is giving you a prepaid card voucher, or when you're buying an Amazon voucher, or you're buying an Amazon gift card in terms of wallet, you're doing any of those, will that be considered to be would that be considered to be a supply of goods or service? No. Would that be subject to GST? No, that is gone. Then what if case number B? This is where we are discussing in further here, where voucher is not covered as a prepaid instrument recognized by RBI, which means that it could be like the voucher that we buy in a paper from your Bata showroom, right? You cannot use this paper to go and then make payment everywhere. Okay, it is like Bata has given you a paper and given you an option to purchase with Bata a certain amount. These are what? These are not prepayment instruments. Prepayment instruments should be available in the form of a card or an online wallet payment. So RBI has said this is how the settlement system works. But if you buy a gift voucher in a physical form in a paper from, or Louis Philippe giving you that, product voucher, will not be treated as what? Prepayment instrument. Am I saying would be treated as supply of goods or service? No. I'm saying this will not be treated as a prepayment voucher. Rather, they're saying the voucher which are not covered under prepayment instrument. What is the treatment I should make for it? The voucher will be in the nature of an obligation on the supplier to receive it as consideration or part of consideration and assure the beneficiary of the voucher to claim certain goods or services as specified on the voucher or in related documents. It is like what? It's like an actionable claim. Right? I'm giving you a voucher and saying that, okay, now you've got this particular voucher. Now you can go ahead and then buy certain product out of this voucher. Now the one who's holding this voucher will be able to get a product out of it. So many industries are having sales promotion through a voucher, saying that you purchase this product from me, I will give you a cappuccino voucher. You purchase this product with me, I will go give you a voucher to go and then get one of the products. Okay, probably you can get a perfume. This is a perfume voucher. Go buy from there. You can just get. So I'm basically clubbing this as a sales promotion. I'm adding this into a product and then I'm giving it as a voucher to someone else. Next question. They said any voucher which is not an RBI voucher, which is not like a wallet, would be considered to be a actionable claim. But what is that we have learned about actionable claim? Are all actionable claims subject to GST? No. What actionable claims only? Specified actionable claim. Can you list a specified actionable claim? Betting, gambling, lottery, casinos, horse racing, online money game. Which one is this? None of them. So this would be treated as an actionable claim other than a specified actionable claim. Will be broadly covered under which section? It will be covered under para 6 schedule 3 negative list. Understanding? So that way also, even if you are not a prepayment instrument, you are a voucher, you are an actionable claim other than specified actionable claim, there also conclusion is same. You are neither goods nor service, negative list, not a supply. Okay. So you're catching the nose, when you're catching direct, not a supply, right? So they said it's an actionable claim, but as vouchers are not covered under definition of specified actionable claim, it appears that they are covered under entry 6 of schedule 3. Other than specified actionable claim. Therefore, it appears that even in such cases, transaction in vouchers would be treated neither as supply of goods nor as supply of service. So not a supply. Next. There are multiple issues they have given clarification. Number 1, whether transaction in vouchers fall under the category of supply of goods and or service. Clarification. It has been clarified that irrespective of whether voucher is covered under prepayment instrument by RBI or not, vouchers is just an instrument which creates obligation for supplier to accept it as consideration or part of consideration. The transaction in voucher themselves cannot be considered either as supply of goods or as supply of service. So when somebody is paying money and then buying voucher, would it be treated as a supply? No. If it is prepaid instrument, it is money, not supply of goods, not supply of service. If it is not a prepaid instrument and you're still paying for it, it is not a supply because it is an actionable claim other than a specified actionable claim. Either way, it is not a supply. First clarification. However, after getting the voucher, you took this voucher, went to a shop, got a product. Will that be considered to be a supply? Yes. Clean. At that time, there is a supply of goods. And this voucher will become a consideration. And will you pay GST on the supply of goods? Yes. However, supply of underlying goods or services for which vouchers are used as consideration may be taxable under GST. Issue number 2. As if we didn't have enough issues, more issues are adding. Okay. They're trying to give you 360 view about it. What would be the GST treatment of transaction in vouchers by distributor or sub-distributor or agent? There are multiple models in this. Okay, I'll tell you the models that we have. Say, there are models where the one that I just told I'm consulting and then advising one startup company. What they do is that they're like an aggregator of all the vouchers. They go to multiple suppliers and they act as a platform for vouchers. Any supplier want, like say you're Big C, you're a venue, you want to give a voucher, you can give through this platform. They charge a platform fee, that's all. Like Dream 11 different model. Okay, so they're doing this. Earlier days, they used to have a bigger problem because upon them selling the vouchers, they had to pay GST. Now they're very happy. Why? Them selling the voucher is not a supply. Now, how the distributor transaction can happen? There are multiple platforms online wherein they'll buy the voucher from another company and they'll sell the voucher. If you want a voucher, you can get it from my platform, but you will have some discounts. So, companies will make money, I will make money. So I buy a voucher. Say I'm buying an Amazon voucher, Amazon gift card. You can even get Amazon gift cards in retail shops these days. Supermarkets are selling Amazon gift cards. They're saying the rest. What they do, they buy from Amazon in bulk Amazon gift cards. Amazon gift cards have a gift box, physical gift card also with a scratch. They have that also. Amazon has that. Okay, I've got once an Amazon gift card. They then gave me a box. Then I was like, what is this gift card in box? Why Amazon in box? Then I opened. There were so many open there. There was no product. Then I saw one small card is there where I could scratch. Then I put it on, some 2,000 rupees came in. Okay, so like good. Okay. So that's a gift card. So what supermarket does? They went to Amazon, bought this. For how much money? 1,600 for 2,000. What happened? They are getting 20% margin out of it. So they are purchasing the voucher and they're selling the voucher. Right? My question. Amazon selling the voucher to the distributor. On what basis here? Principal to principal basis, like any other product. Would that be considered to be a supply? No. Why? It is neither goods nor services. They are selling the voucher to you. Would that be a supply? No. This is neither goods nor service. When it will become a supply? Only when you use this money and buy actually some goods or service. However, there are other type of vouchers, other type of distributors. What? Like the platform that I told you. I will distribute your voucher and I will take a commission. I will give you a bill of the commission. That is considered to be supply of service. That will be still taxable. Look at it. What would be the GST treatment of transaction in vouchers by distributors, sub-distributors, agent, etc.? There are primarily two models of distribution of vouchers through distributors. Number one, where vouchers are distributed through the distributor, sub-distributor, dealer on what basis? Principal to principal basis. In such cases, distributor, dealer purchases vouchers from the voucher issuer, typically at a discounted rate, subsequently sells the voucher to sub-distributor, corporates or end consumers and generate revenue through trading margin. Such difference between acquisition cost and selling cost of the vouchers by the distributor or dealer, that's their margin. Such cases, distributor or dealer, including sub-distributor on the voucher, operate autonomously, that is that they have full power on this voucher, they are not an agent, with full control over the process from purchase to the final sale of the voucher. As per section 9(1), GST is chargeable on the supply of goods or services. Here, as the transaction in vouchers is neither goods or services, therefore, pure trading of vouchers in case would not constitute either supply of goods or supply of service. Accordingly, trading of vouchers would not be leviable to GST as per 9(1). Understanding? So they said purchase and sale, that the supermarket buying the Amazon voucher would not be a supply. For either the Amazon selling to them or them selling to the final consumer, neither of them are a supply. Then, where the vouchers are distributed using distributor or sub-distributor or agent on commission or fee basis. What if they are not like principal to principal? They are like an agent. In such cases, transaction between voucher issuer and the distributors or sub-distributors or agent are on principal to agency basis. These arrangements are as per the contract or agreement between distributor or sub-distributor or agent, and the voucher issuer may specify a set of obligation on such agents such as marketing, promotion and other related support activities for distribution of vouchers against a commission or fee or any other amount by whatever name called for such purpose. Such cases, distributor or sub-agents or agents do not operate autonomously, do not own the voucher, only act as an agent. Such cases, GST would be payable by distributor or sub-distributor or agent acting as an agent of voucher issuer. On what amount they will pay GST? On the commission or fee. Third one. Apart from this, suppose the platform that I told you that I'm advising, they not only take this commission, they also do something more. They do a lot of advertisement about this platform, advertisement about the original supplier. And what they do, apart from this margin, they also charge a fixed fee for selling their vouchers. Will that also be considered to be a supply? Yes. They're saying, what would be the GST treatment on additional services such as advertisement, co-branding, marketing, promotion, customization services, technology support services, customer support service, etc. In such cases, the said services, service fee, service charge, affiliate charge or any other amount of supply of such additional services to the voucher issuer as per the terms of the contract or agreement would be liable to GST at the applicable rate in the hands of the said service provider. Whatever additional service you have. This is the last issue, which is what about the breakage? What do you mean by breakage? I sold a voucher, but they never utilized the voucher. They said, In case vouchers remain unused or unredeemed at the end of their expiry period, businesses generally make book adjustments and account the said amount on the account of unredeemed voucher in their statement of incomes. They'll book it as their income. Value of such unredeemed voucher accounted for the statement of income is called breakage. Can I call this as a supply? No, because is there an underlying supply here? No, they are not buying any goods or services. They said the issue which arose for consideration was whether the amount attributable to the unredeemed voucher, the breakage, can be considered as monetary value of an act or forbearance in respect of and response to or for inducement of supply of goods or service or both, whether by recipient or by any other person. What is that they're asking? They're asking, can I treat this as a consideration for what? For forbearance. Okay, I am charging this amount because you did not execute the voucher within the period. That your question of refraining, can I bring it that here? They said no. Why? To call this as, you should have what? What is that? We have liquidated damages. Circular says there should be an implied and expressed contract. In that contract, did I say it like this? I will get this money. You got the voucher. My contract saying that I will take this voucher amount back. Okay, and for that only I'm buying this because I don't, use this. No, I would never agree on that voucher. No. Okay, so I would not have any implied contract that you can redeem this money, and I'm allowed to, take it forever. That's not. Why would I buy a voucher like that? As per 9 subsection 1, GST is leviable only on supply of goods or service. In case of breakage, there is no redemption of voucher. There is no supply of underlying goods or service. There is no supply of goods or service on account of unredeemed voucher. Since there is no underlying supply of goods or service, in case of non-redemption of vouchers by the customer, amount retained for unredeemed vouchers by the voucher issuer cannot be considered as a consideration for any supply. Accordingly, amount attributable to unredeemed voucher, that breakage, would not be taxable as per the provisions of 9.1. They also went and then clarified from your liquidated damages, referred back to the circular. They said, you remember the circular 178, liquidated damages? I clarified there that the agreement to do or to refrain from an act should not be presumed to exist, and that there must be an express or implied agreement, oral or written, to do or to abstain from doing something against payment of consideration for taxable supply to exist. Considering principle laid out in the said circular, it emerges that where the voucher is issued for the purpose of redemption in respect of supply of goods or service, there is no express or implied agreement, oral or written, between the issuer of voucher and redeemer of payment of any amount or charges by the redeemer to the voucher issuer in case of non-redemption. There is no express contract saying that when I don't redeem, I will pay you this much amount. Okay, for not redeeming it. There is no express contract or statement inside any voucher. So it cannot be treated as a consideration for refraining also. Therefore, all this you analyze and say that, saying that it appears that the amount attributable to non-redemption of voucher breakage would not constitute a monetary value for any supply. Therefore, no GST appears to be payable on such amount attributable to non-redemption of voucher. So, what is your underlying point? Breakage is not taxable. Okay. So, they have given full reference where and all I have touched upon. What we will do, we will make a quick summary of this. Since the circular in your ICA material is so big, I don't want to be like giving you 4 sentences and then say that the circular is done. What if they ask you a little more question and you want to refer something? What we'll do is that we'll do a quick chart giving you what is PPI, what is non-PPI, which section talks about this, which section talks about that. We'll just try to make a 1-page summary. You can put that as a reference back to your notes. So you can keep your notes and then write with me. We're going to do analysis on a fresh page suggested. GST treatment on vouchers. We classify the vouchers into two categories. Vouchers that are prepaid instrument, PPI, under RBI regulation. What's your understanding? When vouchers are prepaid instrument under RBI regulation, what is that we should treat it? It is treated as what? Money. Why? Because money includes an instrument recognized by RBI, which is used as consideration to settle an obligation. Money includes an instrument used as consideration to settle an obligation. And what is the treatment of money in GST? In GST is neither goods nor service. What is the treatment then? Hence, vouchers which are prepaid instrument are not a supply. What are the examples that I've given for PPI? Gift cards by banks, ATM wallet, transaction in vouchers which are PPI are not subject to GST. you would remember this much, you would get a little more words and sentences to write if it comes for a little longer marks. That's the primary reason I'm making you write it. What's the second category of vouchers? Can I go ahead? Vouchers that are not covered under prepaid instrument. RBI. It is treated as what? Treated as what? Actionable claims. Under GST. However, it is not covered under what? Specified actionable claim. Hence, it is neither supply of goods nor supply of service as excluded by para 6 schedule 3. What list? Negative list. Hence, transaction in these vouchers are not subject to GST. As well. At a showroom voucher. Product gift voucher. Or Louis Philippe voucher. All the vouchers that we were discussing would come under the second category, except wallet, which are not PPIs, would come under second. But neither of them are taxable. Neither of them are supply. One is not a supply because it's money. The other is not a supply because it is not a specified actionable claim. But both of them, we have, what will be the taxable activity here? However, underlying supply of goods and or service. If you don't have space, you write it somewhere else. Okay. Just this is a common point. That's why I'm putting it in the middle. You can write it somewhere else. Right? No problem. However, underlying supply of goods or service against these are a supply. Okay. In both cases, if you use these vouchers, get some product, then that product will become a supply. What will not become a supply? Transaction in this vouchers, which means buying this voucher. That's why I'm putting the word transaction in this voucher. Giving money and getting this voucher will not become a supply. But giving this voucher, getting some underlying product, okay, that might be taxable. Done? Now I'm going to clarify everything that you've written in your notes once again. Huh? So I'm going to make a clarification bundle here. Have case 1, 2, 3 and all, no? We have to write, right? I've written this case B. From issue 2 onwards, we'll have to write. Don't worry, not many points, just 4. Only 4 points. Point number 1. Trading of vouchers. On what basis? Principal to principal basis. Issuer of voucher to issuer of the voucher is selling voucher to distributor for consideration. Would it become a supply? Your space planning is a bit of a problem, is it? Yeah. Don't worry. You can go to the next page there and something. Would it become a supply? No. It is not goods, not service, not a supply, no GST. Distributor to sub-distributor or end customer. Would it become a supply? It is again not goods, not service, not a supply, no GST. So they make what here? What is their revenue? They make margin. So they buy it at a lower price, sell at a higher price. Will that margin be taxable? No. That's what the whole understanding, no? Because I'm not buying and selling goods or service. Then why would I be subject to GST? So since you've given that answer, a little confused, I'm writing this also here. Margin is not subject to GST. Next. Trading of vouchers. Trading of vouchers through distributors who are agents. What is the transaction? Principal to agents. Here or agents are not making supply they are charging or fee. Promoting are they considered to be a supply? That is supply of goods or supply of service? Supply of service. Only two more branches. See, we have to talk about additional services. Like, no, I'm doing technology services, co-branding services for an additional charge. Then breakage. These are the things that we've read. Because it's a long reading, no? I'm not sure like how many will get inside. So this is where I'm putting that inside your brain. This much you remember for the exam enough. Additional service relating to if there is additional services which are relating to co-branding, would that be considered to be a supply? This is a supply of service. Last one is breakage is called as amount involved in vouchers unredeemed at the expiry of voucher. Amount involved in vouchers unredeemed at the expiry of vouchers. Can I treat this as a consideration for the underlying supply? No. So they have written it. So the breakage that you have, this will be accounted as income, but will it be considered to be a consideration for an underlying supply? No. It might be treated as income by the issuer. Not a consideration for any underlying supply of goods or service. It cannot be treated as consideration for refraining, as there is no implied or expressed oral or written contract for the same. I will also upload this into the free resource. If at all you have messed up the thing, you can rewrite it at some point. Maybe you would have started in writing somewhere thinking that it will be like a small chart. Done. I'm able to show five page into one chart, so it should be little bigger, no? Yeah. Just enough. Can we read it once? Copy it? You copy, then we will read it once, just to ensure that my handwriting, your copying, your eyes, and my handwriting, whether it's matches or not. If you've copied, just if you've already finished copying, I would recommend you just read it through to get that understanding. Okay. So I'm basically classifying vouchers into two, and the second voucher is where we have all this kind of thing. I cannot have Paytm wallet doing any of this. Paytm wallet is bought by somebody and sold to no. That is prepayment instrument. That cannot be done like this. Okay. That can be done for what? Voucher voucher can be done like that. I can buy the voucher voucher, an Amazon voucher, like that gift voucher I can do. After it is loaded into a Paytm wallet, Amazon Pay wallet, can I do this? No. Till I do that, if there is a physical voucher, I can do. And I told you vouchers are omitted from. It was a little better when it was applicable, no? I had to learn just two words. Now that is omitted, I have to learn so much. They can ask a question. They will ask a question. Just wait. It's like there's some areas which are predictable. This is one. One question they will bring, a practical theory. Maybe one of these they'll ask. I'm pretty sure you'll give correct answer. Where you maximize your score as the question. Copied everyone? Can I discuss once? Summary, yeah? Let's do that. What is your analysis on vouchers? The entire circular analyze like this. We broadly classifying the vouchers into two categories. One is matching all the features of a prepaid instrument. It's a financial instrument, like a bank account, but it's an extension of a bank account which is covered under the RBI's PPI regulation. What are they? These could be a bank gift card, like a prepaid card, okay, or it could be a UPI wallet, it could be a Paytm wallet or a MobiKwik wallet or any of those, which are satisfying the condition wherein they'll have to do KYC and everything and acts like a bank account only. Very similar to a bank account. You can use for any payment that you make. It is even integrated to UPI sometimes. Then, if at all it is a PPI and it is a voucher that you're buying and then added into a wallet, it would be treated as what? Money only. Because money's definition says that money includes all the instruments recognized by RBI, which can be used as a consideration to settle an obligation. Money in GST is not goods, not services. Therefore, the vouchers which are PPI are not a supply, like a gift card by a bank, Paytm, Amazon Pay wallet, etc. Transaction in vouchers which are PPI are not subject to GST. What is the meaning of transaction in vouchers? You're buying a voucher, paying this some money. You paid some money from your bank account, got an Paytm, added some amount into Paytm wallet. With this transaction, be treated as a supply? No. This is transaction in terms of money, would not be a supply. Pure transaction in terms of money will treat it. Done. Second, vouchers which are not covered under the prepaid instrument category. Then we said this should be treated as what? Actionable claims. However, this is not covered under specified actionable claim. So this will be covered under para 6 schedule 3. It will neither be supply of goods nor be supply of service. Negative list will come. Therefore, if you buying this voucher for a cash or a consideration would also be not supply of goods, not supply of service, not subject to GST. However, example, Bata showroom voucher, product gift voucher, etc. However, there could be one more transaction in here wherein the voucher could be bought by a distributor, sub-agent or a sub-distributor and then sold to an end consumer. Okay. Like any other retail product, there could be transaction. But the first transaction is in what basis? Principal to principal basis, which means what? The distributor buys the voucher by paying full money. Okay. Now, who has the full authority on this voucher? Distributor has. Then there are two transactions that happen. Number one, between the issuer to the distributor. Would that sale be considered to be a supply? No. It is neither supply of goods nor supply of service, not a supply, not subject to GST. After getting the voucher, the distributor further sells it to sub-distributor or sells it to end consumer. Is that a supply? No, it's not goods, not service, not a supply, no GST. Second one, trading of vouchers through distributor who are agents, which means the transaction is now principal to agent basis. I am selling you the voucher, I am marketing the voucher, allowing you to sell the voucher, but you are issuing voucher directly to the consumer. Like not a para 3 agent kind of a scenario. Remember, directly giving the voucher to the consumer. If that is what is happening, what is that this distributor agent would get? Commission. Here, the distributor or the agent are not making sale of vouchers. They are charging commission or fee for service of promoting or marketing the voucher, wherein the voucher is directly issued. Then, this commission will be considered to be a consideration for supply of service. Apart from this, there are tech companies, there are platforms which are giving you helping hands in terms of co-branding the voucher, giving you technology for that, or marketing the voucher, or giving you some kind of a technology support. These kind of services additionally comes with a fee. The fee paid for getting the co-branding done, getting the marketing done for a voucher would be, for a fee would be considered to be a supply of service. Then we talked about breakage. What is breakage? Amount involved in vouchers which are unredeemed at the expiry of voucher. It is treated as income by the issuer, right? Because it is not, utilized, unredeemed, nobody is going to claim it further. I will treat it as my income only. I got the money already. It was kept as an, liability. Now it is transferred back to income from balance sheet to P&L. I push it. You're understanding, no? I got the voucher at that time. I did not treat it as an income because somebody is going to buy the product at that particular time. So at the time of redemption, I'm going to keep it. It was kept like an advance. Now I will push it as a income because nobody is going to anymore claim it. So it is not a consideration for any underlying supply of goods or service, because voucher by in itself cannot be goods or service. So no GST is payable. Then there was another question they were asking, can I treat it as a consideration for refraining from using this voucher? I paid you this money for you letting me not use my voucher. Can I say like that? No, there is no implied or expressed oral or written contract asking or saying that I would pay this much of money to not use the voucher. There is no contract like that. That looks very absurd. So it will be like a liquidated damage only. So they said it cannot be treated as a consideration for refraining, as there is no implied, no implied or expressed oral or written contract for the same. With me? So this is the entire summary, put it into a chart. With me? Now you take a break.